Kakadosh Boker Or, Daf Yomi, Masechet Avodah Zarah Daf Yudaled Amud Aleph, says the Gemara. We were just going back on the previous Mishnah and Yud Gimel Amud Bet on the bottom, that we said that you're not allowed to sell Yitzrobolin and a whole bunch of different things to the Oved Avodah Zarah. So he comes and he says, what exactly is it? So he comes and he says, right, we're going to explain each one. My Yitzrobolin, what is Yitzrobolin? Tornita. Yeah, it's one of the cedar trees, which is not motzi perot. It does not give out fruits. A tornita. So says the Gemara, meaning we have a contradiction. Osifu alehen alachsin vitzrobelin mechosasin ubnot shuach. These are, he says, he just reads it out. Vitzrobolin, mochsasin, benot shuach. What does he say? Okay, so one of them, it could be ilex, an evergreen holly-like leaves, with holly-like leaves. An ilex. Does that become better for you? Not for me. Ilexin. Okay. An ilex. Ilexin. Not alexin. Okay. Visa, if you're going to tell me Yitzrobolin is tonita, tonita meita b'shvit, they don't have it in shvit. Vatanya, we learned in the right. This is a general rule. Kol sheyesh lo ikar, if it's got a shoresh, which is mitkayem ba'aretz during the choref, yesh lo shavit. There's a halacha that you're not allowed to do shavit. But if it does not have an ikar, which means that the shoresh is v'chol davar she'en lo ikar, that means it doesn't have a shoresh mitkayem, and dino shel shvit, you're allowed to do schora with it, right? You don't have to be mafkir. So he comes and he says, or to davar here, if right now you're allowed to do schora with it, so for sure it cannot be tornita, because shorashim are not mitkayim during the choref. So Elam Rav Safra, but Rav Safra comes and he says, Pera de Arza. We're talking about pre-etz of the eres. Pre-etz. He says the fruit of an eres tree, number 10. An acorn. Yeah, an acorn. So he says, right? Pera de Arza, v'chen ki ataravi in Amar Rabbi Lazar, Pera de Arza. So we're talking about an acorn tree. Fine. Benot shuach. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, te'enech iverata. We're talking about te'enim levanot. White figs. Uptutarot. What are uptutarot? These are the uksim. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Biptutarot and Shanu. We're talking about with the orchids. So he says that's what they taught in the Mishnah, which means with the orchids, with their stems. Okay, Levona. So he comes and he says, Amar Rabbi Shimon Lakish, Levona Zakah. We're talking about, right, Levona Zakah. White frankincense. Not white, pure. Yeah, pure frankincense. Okay. Tana, we learned, Umikulan, and from everything, Mochrin, you're allowed to sell the Kama Chavila. There's not going to be a Chavila less than 3 banim. Yeah, that's what's coming out. Amane. So he says, he says, why don't we just expect he's going to sell it to somebody else and they're going to serve it to Avodah Zarah? Because remember, frankincense, so maybe you're going to use it. So to merit, אם אני מוכר לך את זה, ואז אתה מוכר למישהו אחר, ואז זה הולך הלאה, ואז הוא עושה עבודה זרה, זה לא בעיה שלי. The problem is for me to do it to you, and then you do the Avodah Zarah, but not from one to another, and but that's already lifnei iver. Okay? Next, Tarnegol Lavan. Amar Rabbi Yonah, Amar Rabbi Zera, Amar Rabbi Zvid, Yika Dematri, Amar Rabbi Yonah, Amar Rabbi Zera, without Rabbi Zvid. Tarnegol Lemi. Who should you sell a Tarnegol to? So Mutalem Kor Lo a Tarnegol Lavan. You're allowed to sell a Tarnegol Lavan. Tarnegol Lavan Lemi. So who can you sell it to? Asulim Kor Lo Tarnegol Lavan. So therefore, it's going to sell it, meaning like this. If the Oved Kochavim comes and he says, who's got a Tarnegol? So you're allowed to sell him a Tarnegol Lavan. Why? Hu lo bikesh Lavan. Az mutar lecha limkor lo Lavan. Aval im hu ba mevakesh, and he's coming and saying, no, I need Tarnegol Lavan, I need it. Now you're not allowed to sell him even a Tarnegol Lavan. Then you're not allowed to sell him. Right? So tonight we learned in the Mishnah, Rida Omer, mocheru lo Tarnegol Lavan ben Tarnegolim. You could sell him a Tarnegol Lavan between all the other ones. Hechida, what's the case? If he said Tarnegol Lavan lemi, so afilu ben Tarnegol nami lo, so then you should never sell him a Tarnegol Lavan. Elalav, the Kamar, but rather he said Tanegolami. So Tanegolami. So if he said that, Afilu Achi, according to Yehuda ben Tanegolinin, Bifnei lo, according to Tanakama, Afilu ben Tanegolami lo. So it comes out that if he's going to say Stam Tanegol, right? Tanegolami. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, Zerak ben Tanegolim. You can't sell it levad. Only ben Tanegolim. And according to Tanakama that are used on Rabbi Yehuda, Afilu ben Tanegolim you're not allowed to. So Amar of Nachman bar Yitzchak, what are we dealing with? Kegon de Amar ze veze. He wanted a Tanegol Lavan and a regular Tanegol as well. So Biglal shu gam Amar Lavan Davka, as a Yisur shel Tanakama ze tamid. ולפי רבי יהודה, אז אתה יכול למכור, אתה לא חייב למכור שניים ביחד, אתה לא יכול למכור רק את הלבן. אוקיי, אבל אם לא אמר שום צבע, אז מותר. Yeah, if he didn't say any color whatsoever, you're allowed to sell them anytime. Tanya Miyachi, we also learned it in a Braita. Amar Rabbi Yehuda says Rabbi Yehuda, Matai, when is there any sur to sell a Tanegol Levan to Avodah Zarah? Bisman Shamar Tanegol Zelavan. Avalim Amar Ze v'Ze, but if he said, I want both, mutar, you're allowed to sell it to him. But even if he said this one is Lavan, or if he's making a wedding, or he had somebody sick, mutar, you're allowed to. Why? Because that means he's doing it for the chole, or he's doing it for the wedding. He's not doing it for Avodah Zarah. So יש לו חתונה, אז הוא צריך הרבה אוכל, לא בגלל שמשהו אחר. Right? So he says not because of something else, he needs it. So והתנא, we learned to the Mishnah, עובד כוכבים שעשה משתה לבנו, אינו אסור לו לאותו יום. I thought we said that if he's making a wedding, it's only asur that day. Right? And it has to be the same person, אותו איש, אותו היום, אותו איש מי האסור, but you're not allowed to sell to the same person. So אמר רבי יצחק בר משעשע בתבזיג. The Mishnah is talking about סעודת מרעים, לא סעודת נישואים. Suda Merim means he's making a party, a birthday party. Yeah, he's making a birthday party. Ken, the mishteh that we're talking about is Suda Merim. Ve'az mimila Suda Merim is not considered for Avodah Zarah. So therefore there's no problem. Meaning the guy's making a party. That's not a Sudat Avodah Zarah. That's Sudat Merim. Suda Merim is mutar.
לאיזה קייס זה מדובר? מתי שהמשנה אמרה...
Tran. We learned in the Mishnah. Shar kol advarim, staman mutar pirushan asur. Anything stam that you're selling at stam is going to be mutar, but if you say mefurash, it's going to be asur. What does it mean stamanu pirushan? Ilema stama de kamar chite chivarata. If you're going to tell me it's stam, we're talking about white chitim levanot, white trigo, white wheat. Pirushan de kamar of the chochovim. Now he's coming and he's selling a mefurash, and he's selling it for the Avodah Zarah. that he needs it. Yudalad amubet 14b. So he says, Lo staman sicha lemeimar de mizavdinan. So he says, so we don't need to say it then, that stam, you're allowed to sell them white wheat. Because the Mishnah just said 4 things, which is asur. Lo kol shar dvarim. So 2 minutes, if the Mishnah says, this, asur. So gamarnu. That's it, I don't need anything else. So lo pirushan sicha lemeimar de mizavdinan, ela staman de kamar chite, pirushan de kamar chivarata. If he just says chitim, that's stam, v'mutar. ברגע שהוא אומר לבן, זה כבר בעיה. So מכלל דתרנגול אפילו סתם נמי לא. So it's משמע בתרנגול, תמיד אסור. Even if he didn't say it. אם אתה אומר לגבי חיטים, שהוא אומר מפורש שהוא צריך לבן, right? That means he's saying it by the way that you need it. אסור לך למכור לו, אז אפילו לא כתוב במשנה, אז ממילא התרנגולים אפילו לא אמר את זה, זה כבר אסור. So Amri, so he said, לעולם Staman de kamar, what is a stam? Chite chivarata, white wheat. Upirushan de kamar is levodah kochvim. When he says pirushan, it means stam. Uamar ze mefurash. Ani konet ze levodah zarah. As kishu omer et ze, when he's saying mefurash explicitly, he's buying it for avodah zarah for sure. That's pirushan. So says the Gemara, pirushan itzrichale. You need it? Says yes. I would have thought to say hi gavra levodah. He says he doesn't need it for avodah zarah. Elameva kudavik avodah kochvim, but he's kashur ve'aduk meot avodah zarah. So he would have thought that since he's going to be there, so he thought everyone's kashrut avodah zarah. So he's saying it in order to give it to him. Many times people think if I'm going to tell him that I'm doing it for avodah zarah, he's going to give me a good deal. I'm doing it for avodah zarah. It's like I'm doing it for the church or for the synagogue. Synagogue, I have to give you a good deal. So הוא באמת, הוא לא רוצה. הוא לא נותן את זה לזה. הוא משתמש בזה כאילו yeah, it's for עבודה זרה. In order to get a better deal. So that's what we're saying. Kamashmalan, that in order to get out of that svara, it's a dain asur. Okay? By Ravashi. So Ravashi asks, Tarnegol lavan katua lemi. Who does the tarnegol lavan katua go to? Should you sell him a tarnegol lavan? So ma'olim kolo tarnegol lavan shalem. What about if it's going to be shalem? Mi amninan, do we say that since he said katua, he's not doing it for the Avodah Zarah? Or dilma, you know like this. The guy's going around, I need a tarnegol lavan, but that's cut. Katua. So I would say it's okay. Why is it okay? Listen, he will not sell Avodah Zarah, but if he was for Avodah Zarah, he can't use katua. Or maybe he's doing trickery. He's saying it that way, and then you're going to give him a full one. And then he will establish Avodah Zarah. Yeah? So if you're going to tell me he's doing harama. Harama means he's doing trickery and a barja. So he says, what happens if he's asking for a white one and you give him a black one? Or you give him a red one and he takes it. What's the halacha? Now you could sell him a white one? Do we say, since he already took the black one and the red one, so therefore you could give him also the white one? But it's love to give him by or dima, or maybe he's doing arama. Take, we don't have that. We don't have that. זאת אומרת, לא, אבל אין לנו תשובה. זאת אומרת, אנחנו לא יודעים אם זה באמת הרמה או לא. We don't know באמת what he's trying to do. Is he doing באמת הרמה, not doing הרמה? We're not sure. Okay, Rabbi Meir אומר, Rabbi Meir comes and he says, yeah, he says like this. Rabbi Meir אומר, even the dekel, the fine palm tree. So he says, Amalel v'chasal avimi, gemire, we have a Kabbalah, Masoret, Avodah Kavim d'Avram Avinu, 400 pirkei Avyan. Do you know that the Sefer Avodah Zarah of Avram Avinu had 400 prakim? But we only have 5 prakim. But we don't know, right, what we're talking about. Right? Now, what does that mean? So he says, but it's much where you could sell a bad tree. We learned in the Mishnah, you never sell anything which is mechubar l'karka. So Elmaleh, he says, my dekel tav. What does it mean dekel tav? Perot dekel tav, the fruits. And that's what Ravuna also says, perot dekel tav. What is chatzav? Kashba. It's a type of a tamar. It's a type of a tamar. Niklas, kuryate. Min perot. Okay, again. Niklas, Niklivas. Okay. Amar Rabbi, Amaleh Abai Ravdimi Tnan, we learned Niklas, we don't even know what it is. We don't know what it is. So Amaleh, Ahanai Lechud Chiazal Tata, when you're going to go over there, Amaleh Niklas, they're not going to know. Amaleh Kiryata Viyade, they do know what it is. The Kamachu Lecha, and then they're going to come and they're going to show you what it is. So imagine the prakim of prakim of Avraham Avinu Avodah Zarah. There was so much Avodah Zarah. They had 400 prakim of Avodah Zarah. כאילו זה היה, כן, זה היה שהיה להם את המשניות האלה, כאילו זאת אומרת את הגמרא הזאת, שהיה להם 400 פרקים של גמרא. היום אין, יש לנו רק 5. עושה זה משנה, מקום שנהגו למכור בהמה דקה, לעובדי כוכבים מוכרים. In a place where they have a minhag of selling בהמה דקה, right, which is כבשים, עזים, sheep and cattle, things like that, לעובדי כוכבים מוכרים, you could sell it to them. מקום שנהגו לא למכור, but if they do not sell it, אין מוכרים. You never sell them susim or chamurim and bakar, meaning the big animals, right? He says because then they're going to do melacha on Shabbat, and therefore it's a problem. Right? The Gemara is going to explain what's going on exactly about doing melacha on Shabbat. Okay. 100%. And when talking about the small behemot, even though they cannot do melacha usually, which are, an egel, a calf, or stiach, also, shlemim, ushurin, right? You're allowed to sell them. Doesn't matter whether they're shalem or shavur. Doesn't matter. Rabbi Yehuda says is matir only in shvura. And ben metira is going to be matir only in the sus. Okay, we're going to have to see what's the reasoning of each one, right, to understand. So says the Gemara, lememra, tisura leka? Are you going to tell me there's no Yisur Mamash to sell a Behemah Daka to Ovedei Kochavim? Minhag, it's only a Minhag. Heicha Denig Yisur Nahu. So wherever there's an Yisur, a Minhag, it's a Sur. Wherever there's no Minhag, it's Mutar. When meaning we have a contradiction. You're allowed to put an animal by a pundak, by an inn of Ovedei Kochavim. But they're going to do Reviyah. Right? They're going to do bestiality. So he comes and he says, Amar Rav says, Makom she'itiru limkor itiru liyacher. Wherever they had a minhag of selling, they had a minhag that you could do yichud as well. Makom she'asur liyacher. But if they said that it's asur liyacher, so asur limkor. And then the Gemara is going to continue to be. Oh, let's get to the two dots. He says, Rabbi Elazar says, Tedvav Amud Aleph on the top, 15a. Right? Even if they said it's a suli ached, you're allowed to sell it. My tama, what's reasoning? Oved kochavim chasal behemto shelo taker. The oved kochavim doesn't want to do anything to his own animal, because then it's going to be taker. Right? So he's not going to do it. Meaning he would do it to another person's animal, not to his animal. Okay? Ve'af Rav adar ben, Rav even retracted. He is going to be chasal behemto שלא תעקר. זאת אומרת, על בהמה של מישהו אחר הוא לא חס, ובגלל זה אסור להשיל לו את זה. אבל על בהמה שלו, yeah, so he's going to come and he's going to be חס.